Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today what we're going to go over is how to knit in 3 different colors with the stockinette stitch. So what you'll need is 3 different color yarns. I'm using worsted weight yarn and the corresponding needle to whichever yarn you choose to use for this tutorial. It's going to be in the stockinette stitch, which is basic knits and purls. So this is going to be very beginner friendly. And just to note, with this particular technique, you're going to learn how to carry up your yarn so that you have this beautiful braided edge on both sides of your work. So there's going to be no need to cut the yarn for any reason other than when you're done with your project and you're ready to sew in your ends. That's when you'll need to cut your yarn. So grab those things, come on back, and we'll get to learn how to do 3 stripes in the stockinette stitch. Okay, so let's get into how we're going to do the 3 color change. And what I would advise for this is to grab a little piece of paper and a pen, because you're going to want to, I personally need to write it down, the order of which your colors are going to go. So I'm going to do blue, yellow, and then white. And you'll see in a minute why you need to know the order that you're working in. So let's set that to the side if you've written that down. So with the stockinette, again, just to review, it's going to be knit on one side, your right side, and purl on your wrong side. So I've used a long tail cast on and I've put 20 stitches on my needle. So the right side of your work already has those knit stitches on there from the long tail cast on. So I'm ready to change my color right from the get-go. So going to do just what we did if you've watched the 2 color change. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a knot again. So slip that under there and just make sure you have your tail. Almost got ahead of myself. Make sure you have your tail. And then let's make it a little bit longer. Make your knot. Okay. Make your knot. Not too tight. Then you're going to pick up your work and then slide that knot by pulling on the blue that I have here, whatever color yarn you have on your needle, and just scoot that up to the top of your work here, right to there. Okay. Now you're going to drop the old, pick up the new color. Okay. So now you're ready to start working with the gold. So go in as if to knit and then knit all your stitches. Okay. And once you've knit all your stitches, I'll see you at the end of your work so we can work on your purl side. Okay, so now you're at the end of your work. So we're going to go from right to left. We're going to turn like we normally do any other time. So now you've got your blue and now you've got your gold. Now it's time to introduce your 3rd color. And we're going to attach onto your gold, just like we did with the blue. So let's set our work down. Grab your third color, which is going to be white for me. Give you your 6 inches, rough estimate, doesn't have to be exact. And then let's make a knot onto your gold color here. Okay. You're going to knot it, not too tight. Grab onto your work and scoot that one down. Okay. Scoot that one down and secure it. Now, again, we're doing the stockinette stitch just so we remember all of what we're doing. So this side is your wrong side, so you're going to purl. So that's why for me, I have to write down the order of what I'm doing. Again, we're going to see why that's important. Just stay with me here. So then with yarn in the front, going to put our needle in, and now we're going to purl. May seem a little odd at first, but this is one that you have to kind of trust the process on this one. And now you're going to purl with that third color. So I'll see you at the end of the row. And we turn our work and we get onto the right side because we're going to change our color again. So now we're at the right side. We've turned our work. We have our blue, we have our gold, we have our white. So now it's time to start the whole sequence again. On the right side of the work, we're going to knit our stitches. So what I like to do is I put my middle finger in between the two colors that I'm working with on this side. So I'm going to do, this is the last color, so that's the old color. And this is the new color, what we need to start working with. So I drop the old, bring up the new. So then I go in to knit my stitches because we're doing the stockinette. So we're going to knit with that color. So this is why I suggested just write down your sequence. You may not need to write it down. Some people can just look at it and know what to do. I'm not one of those people. I have to write things down. So that's why I do that. So we're going to knit all the way to the end of the row. I'll see you there once you turn your work to the wrong side, and we're going to purl with our next color in the sequence. Okay, so you have turned your work. Now, I will say with this, because you're working with 3 different yarns, you are going to get a little tangled. So that's just par for the course. So just take some time to untangle yourself if that bothers you, unwind, and just continue to work. So that's what I had to do, just unwind because I was a bit tangled. But now I'm back on track. So what you'll need to do now that you're on your purl side, you're just going to purl in the next color sequence. So we are going blue, yellow, white. So yellow is going to be our purl color. So we are going to drop that old, bring up the purl. So the pearl meaning the gold. So now we're just going to purl that color. So this is not hard at all. It's just knowing your sequence and doing the pearls on the pearl side and the knits on the knit side. So I will see you at the end of the row once you have completed all your pearls and you're ready to turn your work. Okay, so now you've turned your work. You're on the right side, ready to knit. So the next color in the sequence for me is going to be white. Now, whatever your next color is, you pick that. So just like before, middle finger in between. You may not have to do this, but this is just my little cue of how I do it. I just drop the old, that was the last color, and pick up the new. That creates this nice braid on the side. All right. So now I'm ready to roll. So I pick up the white and we are in business. And just like that. You just go along and knit all your stitches. So just for good measure, I'm going to see you on the wrong side after you turn your work, just so you know your next step. And I think you're going to be on your way. Okay, and just to bring it home, we're just going to go over what you need to do next. So we are on your pearl side here. So we're going to pick up the next color in the sequence to pearl. So for me, that's going to be my blue. So drop that old white, pick up the new color, which is my blue, which I'm going to pearl. So needle in, yarn in front, and we're going to purl. And it's just that easy. You're just following a sequence. I think it's pretty fun to do this because you're just following a pattern. And once you know your sequence in your head, you may not need to look down at your notes and you could just fly through it. So that is how you do a 3 color change in stockinette stitch. So I'm going to finish up this purl row really quickly and then turn my work, and then I'll show you the swatch again so that you can see what your sides should look like. Oops, sorry about that. All right, so I've purled all of them. Turn my work. Get everything out of my way. All right, so that is looking really nice. This is your sides here. Have a nice braid, dropping the old, picking up the new. That's how you get this braid on the side. I'll show you on this one too. That's how you get your braid on the side. And this is how the back looks. All right. So that's how you do the 3 color change in stockinette stitch.